why do you love those things? What parts of them bring you joy? It could really help you to start building a framework for the life where you know what's going to trigger those feel good chemicals in your brain and then start building more of that in. Welcome to the Love Your Brain podcast, the podcast designed for everyday people who are ready to hop off the negative thought hamster wheel and enjoy a less hostile environment in their own brains. Our brains are where we live our entire lives, and I'm on a mission to help people see that they have everything they need to make it a happier place to be. So join us for this episode of the Love Your Brain podcast. Let's get started. Welcome back to the Love Your Brain podcast, or welcome if you're new. It is 2026, and we are starting season 2 of this podcast. I'm so glad you're here. And if you aren't excited yet about this new year, now is the time to get excited because today we are going to be talking about tools that you can use to start incorporating even more joy into your day-to-day. And I just want to remind you, we do also have our free online community that you can join, connect with other podcast listeners, and it also gives you access to looking at our courses and seeing if there's any of those that you might be interested in joining as well. We currently have available our Vision Board Masterclass that will take you way more in detail as to how you can really curate a year of enjoying your life on a whole new level, feeling more fulfilled, even in the areas of your life that you felt stuck in a rut for ages. So click on the link in the show notes to join our online community, and then you will see under courses, there's more information about that Vision Board Masterclass. It's self-led, so you can do it all in one afternoon or break it up over time, whatever works best for your schedule. Now, in today's episode, we're going to give you some extra tools for this process. Because some of us think that we know ourselves really well, we know what we like and we don't like, we know what makes us happy, but we might be leaving a whole lot on the table. And to illustrate this, I want to start by telling you a bit of a story about home design. So, a couple years ago, I downsized and moved from a large house where I raised kids and moved into a loft apartment type setup, much smaller. And when I made this transition in midlife, I really wasn't exactly sure how I wanted to style it, how I wanted to style this new space. I had some color palettes that I liked, but I was having a hard time envisioning this space looking more polished and put together and not looking like a 20 something just moved in. So I went to the internet to find inspiration, as one does. I stumbled across Caroline Winkler's YouTube channel, which I will link below. She does home decor, but she also does a whole lot more as well, so she is worth checking out. But Caroline does this thing where people will write in and send in pictures of their space that they need help redecorating. And they'll often say things like, I really don't like my space, but I'm not sure what to fix to make it a space that I do like. It's hard to pinpoint sometimes when you're looking at a space like, why is it not coming together? Why does it not look the way that I want it to? So Caroline would usually start by having the person send in their inspiration pictures, maybe their Pinterest board or a mood board, just a bunch of pictures that inspired what they think they would like the space to look like. And the thing is, sometimes these graphics people would put together look kind of all over the place. And if you've ever done an exercise like this where you're brainstorming what you want a space to look like, it might have looked the same for you as well. Sometimes the things that you like don't necessarily look like they fit all together. They don't look the same at first glance. Your inspiration pictures might have tons of different styles or colors or from different time frames. But one thing Caroline does really well is she takes all these graphics, looks at them, and finds what are the common themes between them. She would look at the pictures and basically ask, what do all these pictures tell me about what this person likes? What is it about these different graphics that seem to be a common thread of something that is drawing this person to these pictures? Why do they like these pictures? And it could be something very minimal, a small detail that she sees as a common thread, and then she uses that to inspire her for the entire space. She doesn't pick one of the inspiration photos and just try to replicate that in the space, which is honestly what I think most of us probably do. Instead, she just tries to find that underlying why, that detail that truly is drawing that person to that picture. Why do they like those pictures? And that why becomes the inspiration for the space that she is decorating. And these small details could be something you wouldn't even guess. For example, maybe the person submitted kitchens and they're all different pictures. Some of the kitchens are in old homes, some are in new homes, some are more intricate, some are more clean, some of them might be modern designs, some might be traditional designs. Now, most of us would look at these pictures and think like, wow, what is this person wanting in their kitchen? Because it looks like these photos are all so drastically different. But Caroline has this way of looking at it and saying, well, it looks like the common theme here is, well, maybe they all have a lot of natural light. All of them look like they have a lot of sunshine coming in. So she will say something like, well, okay, we need to allow for a lot of sunlight in your space and emphasize it if we can. Or she might see three totally different living room inspiration photos, but realize that they all have comfy couches. And she'll say something like, okay, it looks like comfort is important to you and you want your space to look inviting to spend time sitting in. So let's create that same type of vibe in this space. And the finished product might not actually look anything like the inspiration photos, but the person is so happy with it because she, in fact, did give them what they wanted in a way they never expected. I just found the way that she got under the surface of what these graphics presented and the underlying why of what they liked so interesting. And it really helped me have a completely non home decor related aha moment. Because a lot of us know what we like and what we don't like. We could probably make an easy list of the things that we enjoy, the things that we like in life. Maybe it's family, traveling, coffee, knitting, cats. And we look at all of these things, and a person might think, well, okay, those are all unrelated. But if we could look at them and figure out the common thread or the why behind some of these things, it could tell us a whole lot more about the person and what's important to them. Because your brain knows. The moment the brain encounters something it recognizes as bringing joy or comfort or excitement, it sees that small detail and starts to ignite all these neurons in your brain and starts releasing all these feel good hormones. And if you knew what those small connections, those details were, then you could intentionally craft an even wider variety of experiences for yourself every day that trigger that response in your brain even more. But we often don't take the time to do this. For example, even think about your social media. Think about all the accounts that you follow. Now, some of them you probably follow because you know them or they are into the same hobbies as you are, but you probably have others that you randomly followed that don't seemingly have anything in common with those things that you normally follow or things that you can easily identify as something that you like. But maybe if you look at it a little bit closer, you can find that under the surface, that account does something for your brain. It inspires your creativity in some way or reminds you of your love for something. Maybe it really just ignites this love for your family or the outdoors, or there's something underlying that draws you to it that you don't even realize. But if you can pinpoint it, then it really opens the door for you to start curating your enjoyment of life in a whole new way. You figured out how your brain is working. And when you can start figuring out what those underlying values are, those things that you like and that you enjoy, that create a more fulfilling life for you, those values, maybe of being out in nature or connecting with others, adventure or stability, you can start to ask yourself, how can I start making sure that my day to day life has more of this? Because we can often identify the big things, the big likes in life with ease. But sometimes we're moving so fast, we don't take the time to understand the why of it all. Like, why do you love that sport that you play? Is it because you enjoy the camaraderie with your teammates? Is it the physical challenge? Is it the time that you have to enjoy the outdoors while you play? The answers to those questions could help you move from just enjoying that one sport to actually intentionally incorporating those joy triggers, those components into more parts of your life. I feel like if we had the chance in school or in college to take a class that would like take us through these exercises of drilling down who we are at our core and what brings us joy, what we really like about life, it could help us craft a much more fulfilling adult life and find careers or hobbies that even better align with our values and the things that make us happy. As I was thinking through all of this, I was thinking about so many people that I know who leave college and post grad really struggle with their mental health because a lot of times they're leaving this lifestyle where they've really curated a lot of things that they enjoy, and then they just change right over to a new lifestyle and don't intentionally try to incorporate those underlying values because they don't think they can. So, for example, maybe someone who is really involved in a sorority. They leave the sorority and then they just go move out on their own and they're missing so many components that were bringing them joy before, but they're like, "Well, I can't be in a sorority now, so what would I do?" Or if you think about a college athlete, and so many of them just define themselves as a college athlete and all of the things about being a college athlete that brought them joy. And they leave college, move on to their career. And to them, they're like, well, you know, I can't do that now. I can't be a full time athlete now. So I'm just going to have to do without. But if you could sit down with them and help them pinpoint what parts of your college experience did you enjoy and why did you enjoy them? And now, how can we make sure that those underlying values still get intertwined into your post grad life? Let's make a plan for it. And that could really be a game changer for so many students post grad. Because without that work, we just look at things from the outside and oversimplify it. Like, well, I just love to play football. And now that I'm graduating, I'll only be able to play football with my friends on the weekends, which just doesn't feel like enough after playing football every day of college. But if we broke it down and found out the why, like what is it about playing football that you enjoy? Why do you enjoy it? What is it about football that triggers your brain to release those feel good hormones? Maybe we can find that it's really the connection and the community feel with teammates that is the most joy triggering. Well, then heck, maybe before you even graduate, let's find a career path for you that aligns with that so that even if you aren't actually playing football, you can get those same feelings that you had when you were playing football. So maybe that person finds a career where they work closely with a team where the work is very interconnected with others and they feel that same sense of connection and teamwork that they did when they played football. That's just one example, but there are so many ways that you could apply the same concept to see how you can really start to curate a more joy filled day to day life. Finding a career that better aligns with your own joy and fulfillment, curating a daily routine that brings you joy instead of draining you, or plan experiences for yourself that bring you joy in ways that you never expected, that are a bit out of the box than what you typically would do. This can really help to maintain a balance of joy as well as life evolves and changes. I personally am a people person to my core. Being with others brings me so much joy. And when I used to have a lot of people interactions day to day, I don't quite have that as much now. I work a lot more remote. I don't see people every single day in my work life. And so I had to kind of shift things. Now, was it when I was working in an office? I worked out by myself before work or after work. I'd go for runs by myself or work out in a gym by myself because the majority of my day was spent with people and it really filled my cup. But now that I work remote, I work from home, I've now incorporated those joy triggering parts on either end of my day. So I work out in group fitness classes now where I get to be with people and interact with people. I'm now participating in team sports so that I'm able to be around people more since I don't have that exposure to people as much during the day. Because life is going to always be evolving and changing. And with this understanding of what you like and what brings you joy at your core, it can help you to really understand how to keep that balance of joy in your life so that even as life is changing, you can still remain balanced in terms of really living a fulfilled life because your enjoyment and fulfillment in this life is so important and you can make sure it's more of a focus. So maybe this week you just make a long list of all of the things that you enjoy. See what you can find as a common thread or some of the underlying why of it all. Like, why do you love those things? What parts of them bring you joy? It could really help you to start building a framework for the life where you know what's going to trigger those feel good chemicals in your brain and then start building more of that in. And again, if you want to do more of this type of work, definitely check out that vision board masterclass. The link is below. And if you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to leave a 5-star review and maybe even send it to a friend that you think deserves to enjoy this year a bit more as well. All right, Happy New Year and welcome to season 2. Have a great week, guys. I hope you found something helpful here today on the Love Your Brain podcast. Maybe a laugh or a feeling of validation, or maybe just a few moments to have company while you do your laundry. Whatever you take from it, I hope you enjoyed your time and leave feeling empowered to be more you every day. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on the next episode, and leave a review. I'd love to hear what you think. Have a great one.